Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Dropped Frame. Zeke, hit him with that beatbox.
What?
That was pretty good. Impromptu. We didn't set that up at all. I don't know why I told him to hit him with the beatbox, but
okay.
You know, you ask and Zeke delivers. That's how it goes. Cody, got any bars to drop?
And
oh, he's not done. And what?
No, that's just the fucking improv thing. Yes, and
I love that it's chroma keyed out. I love that the box is see-through because that's actually not real. You can't like print out a piece of paper, Cohh, and say that you own the Cyberpunks. That's not how that works.
My countdown is ruined.
Thank God I don't have to wait. I can unmute you now, is what that means on Twitter.
Oh, don't do that.
Oh, okay. Don't do that. Don't unmute you on Twitter. Okay. All right.
This box is massive.
I thought was that the collector's edition or just the normal edition?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, apparently Best Buy was just like, screw it. We're sending out collector's editions. So, yeah, like me and a lot of people apparently got it today.
Nice.
Yeah, this is the actual Cyber. The only thing I did was open it and like, I wanted to see if there was a disc in there. I was like, maybe they just have a code. Maybe they're just going to give you a code and you put the code in and it's like, you know, this product doesn't unlock until blah, blah, blah. But sure enough, I mean, it says right here, there's 2 Blu-ray discs in here. So, I mean, I guess you can just fire it up and start playing it. Now, funny enough, Cyberpunk tweeted out today that there's like something going on about being given a mission. So it makes me wonder if they're going to try to like PR their way into saying like, it's coming out early. Because it's seeming like a lot of people are saying they're receiving their copies today and tomorrow. Yeah. So let me see here. This is like the final check.
There's the disc.
There you go. There are the discs.
That's right. It's 2. I forgot about that.
Damn. Play disc and data disc. Oh my God. It's like old school Final Fantasy.
you should, is your PS4 plugged in?
Yeah.
You should.
PS5 is.
You should see how long it takes to install. Just put it in the thing.
It's been a slow news week.
Yeah, there's nothing else. Fortnite made a big deal yesterday. That's it. That's the news. I want to see how long that thing takes to install. I guess you can install that on a PS5, right? Like I don't.
You better be able to.
Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't. I guess we'll see what happens.
How do I put a disc in this thing? I've never put a disc in.
Do you have the digital version?
No, thank God.
Okay, that would be funny.
Yeah. That would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
No, in fact, what is funny is I can thank my buddy Technique for that because what happened was I ordered the digital edition, but Sam's Club, of course, was late. So Technique, the streamer, super cool guy, he actually ordered a disc edition that came the day of, but he was given one by Sony. Sony actually reached out and gave him one. So when he saw my plight, he was like, yo, do you just want me to overnight this one to you and you can buy it from me? And I was like, hell yeah. That's why I played Demon's Souls in the first day it came out. So yeah, thanks to him, I have a disc version. And if it wasn't thanks to him, I wouldn't. And I'd be sitting here with this disc just feeling pretty dumb.
That works. So was it only Best Buy that shipped that stuff out early?
I don't know.
Because I have Amazon and it says like arriving the 10th or whatever.
I put the disc in, but like, oh, can't recognize the disc? The play disc?
Really?
Straight up. Cannot recognize the disc. Make sure it's not damaged or dirty, and that it's not inserted upside down.
It might be upside down. Awesome. Yeah. Might be upside down. We'll wait for confirmation.
Oh, that has to be right side. Is it? Oh, it definitely is upside down. No, wait. Does this drive go on the bottom or the top?
What? There's only one disc?
Oh, God. That doesn't sound right. Well, now it's making a bad sound. Hold on. Oh, God.
Oh,
Jesus.
This is great.
Yeah, I like this.
This is chef's kiss right here.
It's pretty good.
Content.
Yeah.
Is he putting? I'm guessing he's putting it in his PS5.
Yeah.
And he's not sure since it stands up. Like.
Yeah.
Which way it goes?
Yeah,
I'm guessing it goes towards the fattest part, like the silver side down, like towards the fattest part.
So one of the sides
maybe
has a logo on it. Is that the top or the bottom? That's the top, right? Hey?
Has a.
I don't have a clue, Cohh. You're on your own here. I would think that the silver side goes.
It is the other way,
not the black portion of the PS5.
So
yeah, it faces out
away from the black portion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
that is weird.
I mean, I'm looking at my PS5 and thinking that's how it works, but I don't know.
Yep, silver side out.
Okay,
I guess
that's what makes the weird ass sound. It's making a weird. Oh no, but there it is, Cyberpunk. Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, it's that's right, but it is making a nasty sound. Insert the following disc for this game, data disc. Okay.
Now you have to put in the other disc.
Yeah, I guess so.
Do you have the vertical stand on it? Did you?
Yeah. Oh
okay.
yeah, it's set up perfectly. Yeah.
I just didn't know if it didn't have the stand on it, which is why it was making noises. So now we're putting in the data disc, chat.
Yeah.
That seems strange to me. I don't know why. It
What
seems like so counterintuitive, or not counterintuitive, but like counter to everything I would think that the way it goes in.
Oh, it's making a terrible sound. It's like a grinding sound, but it's working.
I don't know why. There's no the only physical aspect of that console is the disc drive itself.
For everyone in chat, no, I'm not planning on playing this right now. We're just messing around. No, I'm waiting to play on PC.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be playing this on PS4.
Yeah, which codes have not gone out for that yet. So
yeah, and I will not be streaming it or anything like that. I just kind of like the Nintendo stuff with Hyrulean Warriors. Like, even if you get a copy early, does not mean you can stream it.
Yeah, you're still
So,
DMCA'd.
yeah, like companies have like standard, if content is put on before this time, immediately take it down kind of stuff a lot of times. So yeah, I would never.
So is it installing? How fast is it going?
Very slow. It's at 1%, 2%.
Wow, that is slow.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Weird. All right, well, keep us updated. the latest and breaking news of a Cyberpunk install.
Quick question:
I will be doing the unboxing tomorrow of the collector's edition, though, for people that wanted to see that.
There you go. What was that, Zeke?
What's the difference? Is there a? I'm assuming there's a PS4 and a PS5 collector's edition. Yeah.
No, I don't think there's actually a PS5 version. I think you get the PS4 version and then you update it to the PS5. In fact, hold on.
Yeah.
I think there was a little sticker on it.
I don't think the PS5 version is going to be available at launch, like the updated version. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, PS5 version is not available until 2021.
Yeah. So you had to get a PS4 or Xbox One S version. To do that stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or PC. Obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So that's the thing. That's funny that Best Buy sent all that out. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyways, how are you guys doing? What's been going on? There's no news this week. The number one news is, shocker, Marvel's Avengers hasn't recouped its development cost yet. That's the big news. Not that exciting. They're both super interested. They didn't even hear what I said.
Okay, JP, I will be honest with you. The reason why is because I was looking to see. I wanted to see if anybody got Cyberpunk like Cohh did, and I was looking at the top streams to see if anybody was risking it and just playing it. But it doesn't look like it.
Yeah. I highly doubt anyone would even. And if they are going to stream, they're going to be
smaller. I want to warn all of my streaming friends, all of our streaming friends, if you get this copy early, please do not try streaming it. It would probably be a very big deal. This is something that I think a lot of us, it's kind of assumed that we know this. I would not risk your channel. Don't risk your channel for something like this.
Yeah.
Just don't.
No. It's true. They will probably be.
Okay. Now, JP, you have my full attention. I am so sorry. Please, Marvel, what?
I just asked how it was going and no one answered. So that's the story of my life, apparently, on the show. How's it going? How was your week? What's been going on? A normal
you said
conversation.
About Marvel, didn't you?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. That was what I said. It doesn't matter because this is the biggest news and it doesn't matter. How's it going?
Oh, there we go. Okay, now I'm understanding what you're saying. All right. It's going well. It's going pretty good. I
Great. Back to the desk.
I'm trying to think of like, do you want to jump into games we've been playing, or like, do you have anything like you want to hear about? My shoulder? It's kind of bothering me a little bit.
That's
like, is that what you want to hear about?
Did you sleep on it wrong? What happened with that?
Maybe I slept on it wrong. Maybe I got bad posture, like from like not like sitting properly while I'm using my keyboard and mouse and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's all. Those are all factors like, for sure.
Anybody wants to fucking hear that?
You never know. I'm just scrolling through the news to see if there is anything. CD Projekt Red made a bunch of money off of the Witcher franchise. 6 million in the past quarter, 60% more than the year before. Probably thanks to that Netflix thing. And that's it.
Netflix jumped up their price again. Damn it.
Oh, really? How much is Netflix now?
I think it was another $1. I think they're probably going to do that.
Yeah.
Probably going to do that every year or two, just to make sure they keep, ahead of inflation.
Well, that single dollar is probably like what? An extra 50 million or some shit a month? Some absurd number like that? Dude,
I mean, back when people used to send letters and shit through the mail, I remember when everybody was like up in arms about the price of stamps going up 1 cent.
Yeah.
It was like went from 32 to 33 cents, and everybody was like, what the fuck? But it probably generated like, $100 million for the fucking like post office at the time.
Yeah. That's probably the case.
Was it a $2 increase? It was a $2 increase.
On stamps or Netflix? What am I outraged about? On Netflix. Okay.
Netflix, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a lot.
$17.99 now, I guess. I mean, it's still worth it.
Yeah.
But like when it becomes like how many streaming services are each of us like subscribed to?
This will sound weird that I know exactly this amount, but someone asked me this the other day and I counted. I'm at 12. I have a lot.
12.
Yeah. I pay a lot of money monthly on things that I'll watch like an hour worth of a show. But yeah, there's a lot.
Yep.
What are you at?
I think I'm at like 5. Something like that. I know Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, HBO, Disney Plus, and I think there might be one other one that we barely watch, and we probably should cancel.
Do you have Apple?
No. That's why I couldn't watch that goddamn show you talked about. I was like, I want to watch that. Let me see it. It's on Apple Plus. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, not to shill like too hard. You can get a free week and then just cancel it if you want to.
Yeah.
It only takes like 5 hours to binge, but yeah. That's the downer of that show.
I did CBS for a month just so I could watch a card.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
But then I canceled that immediately.
YouTube TV was like great when it first started, but now I watch it more than anything, but it's like $80 a month, man. It's literally just cable. Like it's stupid expensive. And then they have all this like get HBO for additional $5, get Showtime for additional $5, get blah 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 for additional $5, and it just like starts to add up. It's stupid expensive. So yeah. Cohh, do you have any subscriptions? I know you don't even have a TV, so.
Yeah, but we still have some up. We have Netflix, Hulu, I believe, and Mandalorian Plus.
It's true. It's that soon to be Wakanda Vision Plus soon, or Wakanda Mando Wakanda Mando Vision. I don't know what the best joint name is. Mando Vision maybe might be the best one, something like that.
What do you mean by that? Are they doing a series?
Yes, they are. What were we saying, Cohh?
Okay,
I guess we should count Prime. I guess kind of a streaming service.
Oh yeah, do we count? Wait, can you get Prime Video by itself, or do you have to get Amazon Prime?
It's all a package. Yeah, I think it's like a Prime subscription or whatever. But
chat.
Oh, you can. That's thing you can.
Yeah. We're getting a lot of yes and no's. Also, Wandalorian. Thank you, chat. As always, you're correct. It's Wandalorian. That's the correct name of it.
Wandalorian. I like that.
Not Wakandalorian.
No, not Wakandalorian. I don't think there's a Black Panther show coming up on Disney Plus.
It's not. What about Mandaconda?
That might win. Mandaconda
Only
might
the most
win.
important topics here on Drop Frames.
Mandaconda could win. Could win. What percentage are we at, Cohh?
Oh, I don't know. Honestly, I'm kind of like, even if it loads in and everything, I'm kind of scared to open it because then it's like eternally marked that I played the game early. Can I get in trouble for that?
No.
I don't think so.
You can't get in trouble for owning a game early.
23%.
23%.
Yeah.
Also, interestingly enough, I put in the first disc, and then it said, please put in the data disc. And then, like, I didn't press any buttons. Nothing. It was just like, copying, beginning copy.
Well, it probably...
Is that how it always works?
Yeah, I mean, it probably figured out that it was the right disc, and then it was good.
Well, no, I mean, I didn't even, like, I didn't even open the Cyberpunk thing. When I moved to it, it was like, please insert the data disc. Like, I never actually selected anything. It was just like...
I don't know. We'll
chalk. Normal. I haven't used PS4 for a long time.
Yeah, we'll chalk it up to magic. that sounds like magic working.
That's normal, just like old FF games. Oh, okay. So apparently that's normal.
Yeah.
It knows.
Moving along to video games.
I'm not playing this off stream. All we're doing now is hold on. Cyberpunk game is tweeting something?
I just got a fucking notifier that it probably goes throughout your entire house, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like you could be out in the yard and like the shed, boom, it's like, fuck,
what I've done is
I've
installed 4 red floodlights on each side of the house, and they all blink in unison whenever the Cyberpunk tweets out.
It's true.
Cyberpunk 2077 videos and streams before release. We're getting closer and closer to launch, and chances are some of you will get your hands on a copy of 2077 before release day. Oh, who would that be? However difficult this might be for us to achieve, our ambition is for gamers all across the world to have the same spoiler-free experience at the time the game releases. That is why we kindly ask you not to stream or let's play or release any similar content before December 9th at 12 p.m. CET, 3 a.m. PST. We will send Max Tack, the guys who take down videos, after everyone who does. After that date, however, we would love for you to love if you'd streamed everything you'd like. There's no tomorrow. It's 2020. Who knows? Maybe there is. Jesus. That last line though. But yeah. So
what the fuck is that last line? Jesus Christ.
I love it, man. I love it. I think it's great.
But no, this is interesting because doesn't the game go live December 9th at 6 p.m.? So they're actually letting the people that get the early copies stream like 12 hours earlier.
Mm-hmm. Well, that probably means that's when the embargo comes up. That's all that means.
Interesting.
Huh. Which probably means that's when, if you are one of the few or one of the lucky content creators to get a code for the PC version, that's probably when you can go live, I would imagine. Because those requests, I think, are already available to request, but I don't think they're fulfilling them yet. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is gonna be a night is dark and full of spoilers situation.
Oh, the spoilers have already been out there for a while, though.
Mm-hmm.
For like a week or so, Zeke. Because
have they?
Yeah, some guy we talked about it last week. Some guy already had I think he had a PS4 version from somewhere, and then he started posting spoilers, and then it popped up on eBay or something. And I think you can get, at least when I saw it a couple days ago, it was like $4,000 or $5,000 for an early copy on the PS4 if you wanted to bid on it. But yeah.
And they got that out quick, didn't they?
They have those templates, those yellow background templates ready to go.
Wow. But hey, this just about confirms it. Like, I know that we were kind of in the red zone anyway, but it's coming out. This is happening. Like, at this point, I don't think they post something like that and do a delay after this. Like, this is happening.
Yeah. There was the doubt in your mind that it wasn't going to come out next Thursday?
Well, it was the meme. It was the meme. Everyone was still memeing it. Oh. In fact, right now in chat's like, no, yeah, sure, Cohh, sure, you keep thinking that. Yeah, okay. They're going to delay it 48 hours before it comes out. Yeah.
Speaking of that,
I'd be surprised.
Can we settle not settle, but just like tell everyone like what's happening next week with us?
Yeah, there's no show.
Okay.
You said that was so dramatic. You were like, "Can we?"
No. Like I've had just a couple questions.
Can we talk about it now? I mean,
No. Okay. Okay. I probably deserve that.
It's so dramatic. Yeah.
So no show on Wednesday, but we're covering the Game Awards on Thursday.
Yes. Minus
Okay.
Cohh. Cohh will not be there. But it's
I'll be in Night City.
Yeah. It's me, Zeke. I don't think I told you the full list. It's me, Zeke, Rami, DJ Knight, and Luxy Games will be joining us. Is a 5-person co-stream of the Game Awards, which starts at pre-show starts at 3:30. Their pre-show starts at 3:30 p.m. PST, 6:30 p.m. EST, I think, and 11:30 p.m. London time, CET. There's one of those time zones means something to you. I hope I got those right. It's all over the place. That's on their website. If you go to like thegameawards.com and I think go to watch, they have all of their time zones there. But yeah, we'll probably go live about 10 minutes or 15 minutes prior to the pre-show next Thursday afternoon-ish, depending on where you are. Thursday afternoon/evening, depending on where you are. Also, we should note our Game of the Year Drop Frames community vote went live this morning. It'll be up until our show, whenever that is, January 1st-ish. It's over at itmeJP/2020 or goty.dropfram.es. The other link's much easier to remember, but they both work. If there are any issues with that, feel free to come over and tell the mods what's going on. But the other thing, a lot of people were afraid or were contacting mods already saying they didn't know if you could vote for Cyberpunk as Game of the Year. Yeah, I think we're going to allow it because it's going to be out it's out next Thursday, unless it isn't out. But yeah, you can, don't vote it now. That's kind of weird unless you want to. But yeah, it'll be eligible for our Game of the Year since we're doing it a little bit later in the year. So anyways, that's all I got in terms of the housekeeping stuff. One more time, the link is itme.jp/2020. The numbers, not spelled out. So let's talk about some games, I guess. Zeke, I know you played some Bugsnax. Do you got VODs of it? Because you deleted them all. So how do I
check highlights? Check the highlights.
The highlights section. Okay.
They might be moved to highlights. We could my guy's been saving them.
Got it.
As highlights and then deleting the VODs and then eventually uploading the highlights to YouTube.
Gotcha.
Good call.
Yeah.
How's the old Bugsnax, Zeke?
Man, Bugsnax was a delightful surprise. It really was.
So you finished it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did. It's a game where you can pick up quests, lots of optional quests throughout, and you obviously they're optional, so you can do them or not. I did quite a few of them, but the game in and of itself is, I don't know, casual playthrough, probably like 10 hours, something like that. But the thing that this game has going for it is it's weird. It's pretty wacky, weird, off the wall. You play as a grump. The grumps grumpuses, I think.
I think it's grumpus,
are basically like the Fraggles. And then the Bugsnax are like kind of like the Doozers. Like you eat the Bugsnax, like in Fraggle Rock you ate what the Doozers created, but it's kind of that symbiotic relation, or not symbiotic, but like the Bugsnax are your food. But the thing is, like when you eat them, a part of your body becomes that thing. So if you eat like a Strawbee, which is basically like a strawberry monster, it's a little bit like Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's a lot like Pokemon, because not only do the Bugsnax they're little monster food creatures, but they also just say their name. Like that's their like one form of communication.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see a strawberry like skittering around on legs on the ground, and he's going Strawbee, 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 Strawbee. And they're cute and it's funny, but you eat it, and a part of it, like a hand, a foot, your nose, your ear, becomes that. You get to choose which part, but like you eat the thing, it goes bloop, and your hand is now a strawberry. And they seem to be like completely okay with this. They're like, oh yeah, that happens when you eat Bugsnax. Is that, we've accepted this part and it doesn't bother us at all. Even though it seems like it'd be very inconvenient to try and, grab something without an opposable thumb anymore. But
true.
it's a charming story. It's very colorful. It's voice acting. The voice acting in the game is stellar. It's top notch. But there's a reason for that, and it's because you'll recognize some of the voices in it. Ryuji from Persona 5 is in it. Teddy from P4 is in it. There's a lot of very recognizable voices in this game. Mona is also in it. Morgana. A lot of very recognizable voices are in this. And one of them that really stood out to me, and I tweeted about it, was the voice of, oh God, what was it? Wiggle. Her name's Wiggle, and she like breaks out in the song every once in a while.
Oh yeah, that was a lot. I got to her and I was like, all right, I understand this game.
Oh, really? I didn't know you played. I loved that. I loved it. I was like, this reminds me of Rent. And come to find out, she actually was in a production of Rent.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. But the game is very, very, very well voice acted. Got great visuals, great sound design. It's got this weird vibe to it. It's also got this like kind of a subversive. Like someone asked me, could I play this with my kids? I'm like, yeah, you absolutely can play with kids. But there's going to be some things that you'll understand and the kids won't.
Yeah.
Because they talk about some real shit in the game. Like
that's what I've heard.
Relationship stuff. And yeah.
I've heard that like, cause I only played, this area that you're in right here. I don't know what you would call this place. And then I put it was kind of on the first day I got the PS5. I checked out all the games. This was the final one that I checked out, and I put it away. And most of the conversation that I was told, or that I saw about the game and its story was that it goes places, and is not necessarily, as you said, kid friendly, especially towards the end. It gets a little, I guess, dark. I don't know what that means. Really? I'm interested in your take on that, but yeah, I heard the story is not necessarily what it appears to be at the beginning.
It is. I wouldn't say that a child couldn't handle it.
Okay.
Probably wouldn't grasp like the finer points of it, but like I remember back in the day watching, and this is gonna really date me, and I made this comparison when I was playing it. There was an old Raggedy Ann and Andy cartoon, like a live action movie cartoon. And that shit was disturbing. But I remember like watching it as a kid and not quite understanding all the things that were going on, but still enjoying it.
Sure.
That's kind of this, I think. There's going to be some like things you go, as an adult, you go, holy crap. This is kind of, disturbing. But as a kid, you go like, oh, that's funny looking. There's a difference.
Sure. Okay.
I wouldn't say it's a game geared towards children per se, but I say like they'll probably be fine if they played it. But it deals with like relationships and feelings. There's a lot of feelings being dealt with in the game. When you deal with the different grumpuses around, like there's feelings of inadequacy, there's feelings of loneliness and isolation, there's feelings of self-doubt and all that kind of stuff is touched on throughout the game. And there's some pretty touching moments in the game that I really liked a lot. But all in all, like it's a very cool game. It's a complete experience. There were some side quests that I didn't necessarily do. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention about Bugsnax is some of the side quests and some of the Bugsnax that you have to catch they require a little bit of like puzzling, like figuring it out. Like, how do I do this? When you take a picture of a Bugsnax, it tells you little tidbits about them. Like it likes chocolate sauce, or it likes peanut butter or ranch dressing. Those are like the lures that you have. Like you slingshot like ketchup and all that kind of stuff. Right. Depending on if it's a hamburger called a bunger who jumps around and goes bunger, 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 bunger. You realize it likes ketchup, or you take a picture of it and it says it likes ketchup. You're like, okay. But when I put down this trap thing, that little umbrella trap thing, it just knocks it over. Like, how the hell do I get that thing in the trap? And then you realize there's two bungers on the same, in the same location. And if you put ketchup on either one of them, They go bunger, 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 poof, and they hit each other. They flip over on the backs, and then you can catch them. Like things like that. Like little things that you work out. That's one of the first ones, so like minor spoiler there. But
yeah.
There's lots of different stuff like that. Like you have to figure out how to, like, I got this guy on its back. He's a popsicle, but I got him on its back, and it says you can pick him up. But every time you try to pick him up, like you get frozen. You have to break out of the ice that freezes you. So you have to figure out how to like work your way around that. And it can be frustrating. It's pretty satisfying once you figure like, oh, I can do this and then do that. And those things working in conjunction, then I can capture that guy. It's pretty fun, honestly.
Now, I've seen so much conversation around this game regarding like Bugsnax Game of the Year. Does that have merit to it, or is this just like the Untitled Goose Game thing? And maybe this is maybe that's an unfair question to ask you. But I guess I'll phrase this way. When you played it,
right,
were people in your chat as adoring as one would be for a game of the year of this game?
Somewhat. I mean, there was definitely, I definitely felt like I understand why this could be considered like it won't be, I don't think it'll be anyone's like game of the year, but right. I can see it being in like the top 10 running because it's like of all the things I said, it's a complete experience. The sight, sound, and voice acting, all great, wonderful. There's a certain amount of strategy to it. It has a feel to it that feels everything falls into place. Like it feels like everything belongs where it is. It doesn't ever like take you out and go like, oh wow, I don't understand why they did that. You know, it's a really great story all the way through.
Okay. And
I understand that. The thing I think most people would have contention with is it's not super difficult. There's not a lot of challenge to it. There's no risk either. You never die. There's no death in the game.
Right.
So like if you fall off a cliff, it just teleports you back to where you fell off, you know, because you can like fall off a cliff and stuff, but nothing ever really happens. Like you can get lit on fire and you just run around like Mario for a while until the fire goes out. That's about it. So there's not a lot of risk in doing the game. Like you can't die or there's no game over. But as an experience, it's great. And it's not like, there's a lot of optional content that you don't have to do, but you probably would like to. I did enjoy the shit out of some of the side quests that they gave you.
Yeah.
It's also like pretty, it's not heavy handed. Like, you know how like The Last of Us is like gut punch.
Yeah.
Like a few gut punches like throughout. This one's more like, you know, like softer, easier to take, but like it definitely like twinges something in your mind like, oh, that's kind of a cool point that they're making with these fucking Muppet looking people.
Do you have a favorite Bugsnax?
Do I have a favorite Bugsnax? Oh, the creatures themselves.
Yeah.
Bunger's hard to beat. It's just a funny, like, because you'll be walking through like a new land you discovered, and you'll hear them go like, and they all have different cadences too. So Bunger's like bunger, 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 bunger. But like then there's like the Sandopede, who's like a submarine sandwich.
Oh, I never saw that.
Sandopede. It's like jarring. And then there's like a few of them that are like, I don't remember what the daiquiri one is called, but it like bursts into the air. It's like daiquiri, and it comes down. But like they all have different, like all the Bugsnax have different personalities, and that's like discovering them and hearing their voice lines are pretty funny.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Those are called snackeries, according to chat.
Snackeries, thank you, snackeries.
Yeah.
Instabug was pretty cool.
Wait, what's an instabug?
Instabug is a bug that hides until you take out your camera, and then it pops out of the bush. It's like Instabug.
That's pretty good.
As like you see the bush, because everything, like a lot of things hide in bushes and trees and stuff, and you hear it go shh, like the bush rustle. And as soon as you take out your camera to look at the bush, He pops out like Instabug. Comes out. It's pretty great.
Yeah, I never saw that one. I like that one a lot. That one's pretty good.
Every single creature that you eat in the game changes your character?
You don't eat them. You feed them to other grumpuses. You never actually eat your own. Like the main character never eats any of the Bugsnax. They give you quests. Like one of the quests, Wiggle says like, I need a hat that reflects my personality. And she said like, get me an olive bug or whatever the fuck. So you feed her an olive bug and then you point to her hat and it goes bloop and like part of her head becomes an olive.
Yep. It's weird.
Cool.
It's a weird thing.
And you can actually feed them enough where their entire body, like I fed the farmer enough Bugsnax over time that his entire body became like, I think I fed him a hot dog. Like the last thing I fed him was a weenie worm, and and his whole body became like hot dog.
Do they? And maybe this is a spoiler question, so I guess answer that before I ask it. But do they explain why they want to turn into this shit at all? Is that, or is it just, hey, I want an arm that looks like a strawberry? Is that a spoiler in itself?
It's not specifically a spoiler, but it's something that you discover through playing the game.
Okay, all right.
That there's like scientist grumpuses that like you meet and they go like, now this is why I want to do this. Like watch this. Like,
so I think you just said it's not a spoiler, but it's something you discover while playing through the game. Isn't that like the definition of a spoiler?
Well, yeah, I suppose.
I don't think it's imperative to the stories per se, is what Zeke was saying.
Yeah.
Was it a discovery moment
that's what
when
I
you found out? Were you just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like, is an Easter egg a spoiler? Like,
I see what you're saying.
It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Code, mute your phone. We're getting all the dings.
Oh,
I don't care about Cyberpunk. I don't want to hear the dings.
Sorry, it's Poland.
It's Poland texting. Yeah. Well, cool. I'm glad that one of us played it too. I don't know if I'll get to it this year, but I put like an hour into it. It was like, I understand what this game is. So,
yeah, you do have to like allow for some goofiness.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. Like I did find myself going, this is probably a little young for me in parts, but
look at those poppers. Oh, they're so happy.
Have they grown, or did I just misunderstand how big they were?
Yeah.
Okay, they've grown a lot. Okay.
They're fucking huge, man.
Yeah, I started
Standard poodles get pretty big.
Okay. All right. They've grown a lot then.
Yeah. They're about 60 pounds now a piece.
Jesus. Okay. They're much bigger than.
Very huge.
Sure. Yeah. PC port was fine. I played the PS5 version of it. PC was fine though.
There are some problems. Good question.
Really?
There are some problems with the PC version. Yes, that people who played it on the PS5 said they did not have. There's some frame rate issues that the devs are in fact aware of.
That's not good.
I had some problems with it chugging during scene changes. That there was like a dev note put out going, while we're trying to fix this, we found the best way to help your frame rate is to do like, in-game fixes, like do DirectX 9 rather than 11, do it, windowed rather than full screen, and that kind of stuff. It wasn't like, it didn't get to the point where it was so bad where I wanted to stop playing it, but it was definitely like, oh, here we go, frame rate, here we go, catch up, and okay, we're back.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know what the difference is, like, technically, but there was some minor points where it was framey, but they are aware of it, and hopefully they'll be fixing it.
Okay. And that was only on the PC version, right?
That's what I heard, yeah.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yep.
What does that game run on? I know on PlayStation you get it with PS Plus. I don't know what it runs on PC though.
Let me see here. It is
30 or something like
$24.99.
Okay, $25.
Yeah, $25.
Yeah, on the Epic Game Store, correct?
Yep, it's EGS exclusive other than console.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Cohh, you did some Empire of Sin for.
I did.
Was that a sponsored stream yesterday or not sponsored? I know there were some sponsored streams.
2 hours sponsored, 2 hours not sponsored, and then I played it just under 2 hours again this morning, not sponsored.
Cool. How was it? What'd you think of it?
Empire of Sin is a lot of really cool ideas and even a few really cool mechanics. It unfortunately has some really bad stuff mixed in and makes it kind of not a great package overall. Empire of Sin basically is you are running a crime family. You have access to multiple different types of businesses that you can run. You are constantly in a war. You have with the other families and the police. There's also some quests that kind of go through it. You have a main character, and you can get kind of side characters that follow you around, kind of like almost like a CRPG party that have perks. Like right here, you can see full inventory loadout, stats of their own. There are a lot of things in it that are really, really cool. And I think that if this concept was done properly, this game could have been phenomenal. Unfortunately, where some ideas feel fleshed out, complete, and feel really good, other parts of the game they almost feel half finished or just not very well thought out. So the combat, for instance, almost always boils down to like your team versus like 3 to 10 other people, and that's it. I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, and the combat is insanely easy, or in some cases, like completely ridiculous. Where it's like if you're up against other guys and they use their guns, you can generally just kind of get around it easily. You know, my main guy has an ability that's essentially game breaking in a lot of situations. But in that exact same situation, if you go up against like a group of guys and they all have grenades, then the grenades hit exactly where they want to throw them, and they do like 3/4 of everyone's life. And if they go first, then all of a sudden like 3 of your guys are just dead at the beginning. Whereas if they don't or don't have grenades, you can just kind of walk over them. The fights don't really have a lot of impact to them. The AI is not very good. It's a very simplistic AI that never really does anything except, just like get closer and fire. In fact, a lot of times, even when it's in range, it feels like it'll run out of range, and like instead of walking out and taking a shot, it'll move with both its AP and then just be standing like right in front of all your guys. And it's just like, for every idea that I kind of liked about it, there was something that seemed to balance it out that I didn't like about it. There were lots of bugs. My characters would frequently just get stuck on the map. So I couldn't move them without like zooming in and zooming out, which became kind of a process. At one point, a quest indicator got stuck over one of their heads, and it was just really annoying. Sometimes like a quest at one point just randomly reverted back to an earlier state for seemingly no reason. But yeah, I mean, it's a really cool idea. But like I said in my chat earlier, it's like they got all the good ingredients of the bread together and they put it in the oven, but they just like took it out when it was half baked. Like it just feels like it's not really done. It feels like it could have taken, had a lot more mission variety. It could have had a lot more balancing. It could have had a few more passes of QA in terms of like making sure that things worked as they were supposed to. It's just not quite there. So like I was saying today. Who did I start with? I started with the I think it's the religious dude that wears the really dapper suit. He has an ability called Last Rites, and what he does is he essentially just keeps firing his gun at the closest target until he's out of ammo, which not only is super powerful by itself, because if someone dies, he just moves to the next target, but I'm pretty sure it's bugged, because at the beginning he would do it 6 times, but then when I got a secondary weapon, he would do it like 12 times. So I think he was actually using the ammo pool from both weapons. So it was just kind of ridiculous. The only fight I had any trouble with in this game is, like I was saying earlier, when basically they just started like chucking grenades. I was trying to take an enemy safe house thing, and they just started chucking grenades at you. Like, and there was nothing I could do. Like within 2 turns, I had like 3 people dead. Also, kind of weird is they have like all these mechanics for dealing with other people, and there's like a diplomacy system and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, there's all sorts of different businesses you can take over and you can upgrade and do all these things. But whenever you're in a gang war, if you take their safe house, you just get all of their businesses. And not taking their satellite businesses or taking them, from what I understand, doesn't really affect the power of the safe house. So instead of like dealing with all these kind of interesting diplomacy things and figuring out how you're going to conquer somebody, it's seemingly just always the best idea to rush their safe house and just take everything at once. Now, again, I only played for like 5 or 6 hours, and I only did that thing twice. But again, it just seems that was one of those things where when I was thinking about it, it's just kind of like, why would you ever do it differently than this? Like, what's even the point, you know, of taking them one at a time, when if you want something from somebody, just figure out how you're going to kill their safe house, then take all their stuff. Yeah, just there were a few things like that where I was just kind of like, this doesn't seem super well thought out. But yeah, that's kind of where I was. It was pretty. The music's great. At the beginning, when I was not kind of realizing that it was going to be a pretty monotonous gameplay loop, like I was really enjoying it for the first little bit. It looked and felt like it had a lot of potential. But then the more I played it, the more I realized, like, oh, this is just kind of like, this is the entire game is going to be just these like kind of simplistic fights, just kind of slowly moving out. But yeah, it's got a lot of cool stuff, but got a lot of not so cool stuff too.
Yeah.
I played it for a little bit. I had a sponsored gig, and I played it for like 2.5 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And I definitely like there's definitely some stuff that I echo as far as the combat and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty straightforward starting out. And yeah, I got the impression that like diplomacy works way less often than just using a gun or a bat. You know, just going in there and like, hey, you want to have a sit down? All right, we have a sit down. I'm just going to take all your stuff. It's all good. No worries. I'm just going to go buy some stuff here, or get a new gun. I'm going to take over, and then I'll just I'll just have everything you have. Perfect. Easy peasy. The thing that kind of like right off the bat that I maybe it's just the way my brain works or whatever, but they throw like so many stats at you. Like right off the top. It's just like,
the menus
look at all these, like,
really will
anything.
Like yeah.
Yeah. Anything that has like goes to the 10th decimal place or the 100th decimal place, like 0.01%. I'm like, that's too much information. I don't need that much. I don't need that much, buddy. That's good. Keep it in the 100. Keep it in integers. I'm good with that. I can do that. It's like, but it's like, how much does this guy like you? It's like, if you do this, he'll like you 0.3% more.
Does that stuff actually matter, or they're just?
It didn't seem like it. That's the thing. It seemed like I don't care about that. If I just go take shit, I'll have shit.
Hold on. What was this? There was a menu that Cohh showed just for a second right here. What was that?
A whole bunch of people.
What the fuck is that?
Those are all the different people and units you can hire. So not only these are all the people that like exist around the game world. The number in between the two things is how much notoriety you need to hire them. They all have like a cost, an upfront cost, and then a monthly cost. They all the thing to the right of the numbers are class. So there's a bunch of different classes which dictates what weapons they can use, and also the perk tree, which you kind of go down a perk tree as you work through it. When you mouse over them, a bunch of other icons come up, which shows you who they like, who they hate, if they're in a relationship with somebody, if they love somebody. And all of those factors, like that right there you saw, all those factors can give them modifiers, which then affect them in combat. So like what was pretty cool is, you know, at one point, it was kind of bugged, so it ended up being buggy, but still cool, is like at one point, somebody on my team, somebody died, became an alcoholic. And that was like a negative and a negative. And then the doctor on my team was like, I feel bad that guy became an alcoholic. So then he became sorrowful. And then like, it's like this kind of crazy social structuring that can influence how your character plays, or how the team works together and how it plays. So like that's one of the cool systems. Like when it works, that's kind of awesome. Like that's kind of fun. And also it makes it so when you're building your team from everyone around the town, you want to make sure that you don't like get a bunch of people that hate each other, because, you know, they're going to be pissed all the time and things. But yeah, it's an interesting idea, but then later in the game, I had like all at one time, like so-and-so got drunk and this person didn't like it. Okay. Instant next message. So-and-so is a drunk now and this person doesn't like it. Oh man, so that guy became a drunk and neither of these dudes like it. So they have like 250 turn debuffs of this worry buff. Well, I better hit okay to that one. Okay. So-and-so has seen the light and is no longer a drunkard. Okay, wait. So there's, and then I clicked on the other two people and they both had debuffs for 250 turns about how worried they were about that guy being a drunk.
200, wait, how
what like a long ass time.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like the actual thing. I was like,
no,
like, how long is this?
Basically, it's like it just kind of completely invalidated the cool system. It's like, you know, so this guy was a drunk. Two people got super sad about it. He saw the light, but they were just going to be sad about it for like another 2 months, I guess. You know, so little things like that. It's just it's clear that there's a lot of cool pieces, but they just don't quite work properly.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping if they could get in some variety of the main loop and get a few good patches into this game, then, I mean, it could go somewhere. It has a pretty solid foundation if they can kind of finish it up. But it definitely needs that before anyone, I would recommend, pays full price, unless you are like really into this time period and, you know, are really looking to kind of take over the whole map kind of thing, in which case you'll probably get 20 plus hours, I'd say. I mean, it'll take a while to take everything.
Yeah.
If you decide to go that route, you'll just have to deal with all the bugs and kind of the combat monotony across the way.
Yeah.
Would you say that this game suffers from trying to do everything good and not doing one or two things exceptionally?
Yes, I think that
was my feeling.
Scope creep is a good term for this game because it seems like they just have a lot of things that are. It's not like quite to the degree of like No Man's Sky was on release, but it certainly is to the degree where it's like there's a lot of things in this game, a lot of things, and a few of them work okay, but then a lot of them just don't really work okay, or just aren't fleshed out enough to be interesting over clearly how long the devs want you to be playing this game.
Yeah,
makes sense.
But again, I hope they salvage it because it's cool. The music's great. Like, I love the music. Super old timey, no DMCAing. So apparently, it's a lot of it was like it. The music's awesome. You know, the graphics were fun. I mean, got a lot of potential.
Well, every time you have a sit down, like and it's voice acted and the mouth and the body move, I think it's on like a random like gesture generator or whatever. So when you're talking to someone, you'll see them do like this and like this, you know, like that and like this, like, and it's the whatever they're saying doesn't like warrant what they're doing. So it feels like it's like, yeah, just every once in a while do something with the character model. So
make it look lively.
Like a lot of times. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. It's $40 on Steam. It is not early access, right? This is full release.
I believe it's full release.
Okay. All right. Seems like you guys are not alone in it being middling as a lot of the reviews. I think it's 6 out of 10 on Steam. PC Gamer gave it 49%.
Yeah. I ended up reading
67.
the Gamer one because
yeah.
I was like, man, 49%, and the reviewer was like, dude, I had 2 separate times when my main save game was bricked, like 2 separate times where you could not progress, and it's kind of like, man, that's. And then yeah, it turned out I actually read his review after my first day with it, and it turned out a lot of the stuff that I was hitting was also being hit by multiple other reviewers. Yeah, where it's like, it's cool. There's some good stuff in here, but it's just not. The picture isn't complete.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. It does look pretty. I can agree with your statements of it looking good. It seems like it ran well as well. Like there was no performance issues
with running. Yeah, performance was good. No crash bugs, just more like, you know, in-game oddities and weirdness.
Yeah, cool. All right. Once again, that's $40 on Steam. Most likely, probably wait for a patch though. Seems like the thing
patch
to
maybe a sale.
Yeah, patch or sale for sure. Oh, you can rename your buildings.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I like.
So all the buildings got named after subs and stuff.
Oh, okay. I was confused why you were naming it this. Yeah, we're gonna say Zeke.
No, that's one thing I like, that I can name my brothel the Hole in the Wall.
Yeah.
I can name my brewery the Golden Shower.
Sure.
You know.
Of course.
Right.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yes, you could.
Cohh, what else have you been playing? I still have not gotten used to the fact that I have no more Twitch VODs to go from. So I can't just say like, I've seen you've been playing this. It's like, Cohh, there's nothing on your channel. What have you been doing?
Well, you know what you could do? You know what you could do? Even if you don't delete the VODs, does the schedule stay up?
Oh, does it? Let's see. Nope. Looks like it goes away.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't play anything on Monday or Tuesday.
Well, that's wrong. Played a lot more 13 Sentinels.
Oh, okay.
And that game, man, oh my lord. I'm actually getting close. I think I'm getting close to the end of it. At least I think I am, but people have told me that may not be entirely accurate, but that game is nutty, dude. That game is nutty.
In a good or bad way?
In a good way. In a very good way. Like it gets to be wild. Yeah. If you are a visual novel fan, I recommend 13 Sentinels. And the little combat portions are pretty cool too with the mechs. Like once you start learning kind of how it functions and start kind of diving into the upgrade system and stuff, it's actually pretty great. Yeah. But no, I'm having a good time with it. I am very much looking forward to getting to the end. It's definitely to the point now where it's like every 15 to 20 minutes, there's like a near major reveal in some regard. And the story is set up to where the end of the game, like you get hit hard and heavy. Like the last, I'd say 5 hours of the game that I've played have been just like revelation after revelation after revelation. You know, like what, that thing we've thought the whole time is not accurate. And it's crazy. And visual novel fans definitely need to be checking out 13 Sentinels.
Yeah,
that's 13 Sentinels Rim for the question I saw there.
I wasn't going to show it because this is episode 47 on your YouTube, but yeah, it looks like shit's gotten crazy from what I saw at the beginning of that game. Things have definitely escalated.
I am at a point in the game now where in the first few hours, I never would have possibly guessed where I am at this point. Like it is so far off the rails of what I expected from this after the first few hours that I played. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
It looks it.
And again, the great thing is for streamers, fully voice acted, 100% voice acted, everything. And a lot of great voices that we've come to know and like from like Fire Emblem and like all over the sphere. Everyone's a good voice actor in the game. Yeah, good.
Is it really good. Is it console only?
PS4 or 5. I'm playing it on PS5 right now. Oh, you know what?
Oh yeah, what's the percentage? What are we at? Percentage check.
Uh-oh. Oh, copy paused. Why does it say copy paused? I don't know.
Cyberpunk is hacked.
Oh, yeah, no, there we go. Insert the playlist to finish a copy. Okay.
Very good.
I'll do that later.
Yep.
And by later, I mean right now.
That's fine.
What have you been playing, JP?
WoW, which is just WoW. So there's nothing to talk about there. Oh, and Demon Souls on PS5, which is it's just Demon Souls. It's Demon Souls. If you played on the PS3, it's a better version of that. I will also say, and I sound like a broken record, but it is an easier version of Demon Souls. And I don't want, I'm like actually that guy when I say that. 100% I'm aware, but like I felt like with Demon Souls, at least the original, a lot of times, for example, if you have played Demon Souls and you remember area 2-2 right before Flame Lurker, and you go into the fiery swamp of blindness, it just ran like absolute shit, and you were fighting the actual console and frame rate rather than the game. When you get into that area on this, it's like, oh, you just hug the right side of that area and you're good. there's no struggling because it's just like, nope, that's a clear line right there on that right side of the area. And that's that. You don't have to worry about anything. So yeah, it's gorgeous. It's very good looking game. Drop dead gorgeous, one would say. And some of the boss areas are fantastic that I've seen. Like Flame Lurker, for example, is a gorgeous area and gorgeous rendition of that boss. But at the same time, like It's a 60 FPS version of Demon Souls, which if you have played Demon Souls, that's the thing that you always wanted, and they delivered on it. But it did take away a lot. Like a lot of those boss fights, I think, in Demon Souls, and if you think about like the evolution of Dark Souls bosses, Demon Souls, they all had kind of like a gimmick in a lot of ways. Like hit this boss in this specific area multiple times until a thing happens type stuff. Not like the AI on this boss is fantastic and will just beat the shit out of you because it's good. And so once you kind of like know that stuff, the bosses become pretty formulaic. I mean, if you've played it, which makes perfect sense if that's the case. But if you have never played it, it's really fun figuring that stuff out for the first time, which I'm sure Cohh did when he...
Most of the time.
What do you mean by that? In terms of you just
brute
forced it?
Boss with the stealth, man. That was so frustrating. The big dragon.
Oh,
Oh my God. I died 32 times total.
Yeah.
My first playthrough ever of Demon Souls, 32 times total. 9 of them was to that boss.
He is a piece of shit.
You don't even fight. Like it's not even a fight. You just have to move to 2 things and hit a button.
Yeah.
That was frustrating.
Yep. I remember being frustrated.
I totally see what you're saying, by the way, about it being easier. It is definitely easier than the other ones.
Yeah. And I mean, you can also say that like, well, you guys have played every other Dark Souls games that's existed. So of course it's going to be easier. True. But it's also like not that hard of a Souls game. I think that's still a valid statement, regardless of how much Souls you have played.
I'd agree.
But yeah, it's really pretty. I'm having fun with it. I'm only about 8 hours in, and I think I'm like halfway through it. I don't remember it being this short of a game, but I've also one-shot most of the bosses. So that's probably why it's going so quick. I've actually found that my gear is so... Like, I was fighting Flame Lurker, and I just didn't have gear equipped except for a weapon. And so when he, like, one-shot me, I was like, oh, yeah, I should probably put on some fire resist armor of some sort, or this is going to be a fucking pain in the ass. So I'm having a good time with it. I'll probably finish it up maybe tomorrow, if not this weekend. But yeah, it's a good game. It's a very pretty looking game. It makes me excited to play more PS5 games in the future, because that is a very good looking game, and I am excited to see what like a Naughty Dog, for example, can pull off on a platform with that much power.
I have to say, it's kind of crazy that if you've never played Demon Souls 1, that game could have come out and been called Dark Souls 4. And I would have been like, awesome.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 4, great game.
It is. I think I'm okay with stating, and I don't think this is a hyperbolic statement. I think it might be the best looking Souls game from just like a graphics perspective. Art style is another thing. I think Bloodborne might win out there. But like, it's a fucking gorgeous game. And there's so many times where you go into an area having played it on the PS3 and you just remember it as like, it's like they smeared all the paint together on like a painting.
Exactly, dude.
And you're just like,
it's
what
like, this one's Demon Souls on the PS3 was watercolors.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And
exactly.
then this one is like painstakingly, like it's a Vermeer. It's like,
yeah. And I find myself constantly just like, holy shit, that's what that's supposed to look like. Good God. Instead of, I think that's a person, might be just a statue, not sure. Doesn't look like it's animating, at least not yet. I think Demon Souls also had a weird thing where and this might have been a lot of the early Dark Souls, where like the mobs that were in the background animated at like 2 FPS, and then as they got closer, they were fully animated. This just has like everything at 60, it seems like. So it is a very, very pretty looking game. And if you are lucky enough to have a PS5 at this point and you have not played it, I would say it's for a Souls game, it's a great one to get started on, because they do the difficulty is not like ramped up, and it's a good one to learn on in essence, for sure.
Now, neither of you, or you, JP, you played the original on PS3.
Yeah, I've done 2 or 3 playthroughs of it.
Okay. Graphical quality aside, or actually, we're dealing with graphical quality. I want to know, the feeling that Demon Souls gave me might have been due in part to the limitations graphically. Like, it was harder to see. It might have been a little bit darker, a little bit less defined. But do you think that added to like the mystique of Demon's Souls on the PS3, or does that just not even a factor after playing this one on PS5?
I don't know. Cook, do you have an answer for that? I don't know if I have an immediate answer for it.
Because that was a lot of people's like question was like, they saw the side by sides of like the Tower Knight,
the
huge Tower Knight, and the Tower Knight it looked like dark, less defined, less detail. So it was like more, I think, more up to your imagination and more like atmospheric. That you couldn't make out every little fine point. It was more like a feeling of dread or immenseness. Whereas on this, like, you can see every single spike, like every single like tooling detail on the shield or whatever, and it kind of like, it's beautiful to behold, but it takes away some of that like dread or the feeling of it.
I think that's still there.
I mean, seeing a lot of bosses for the first time and being so concerned about just surviving, I mean, a lot of times you don't really focus on them entirely, so you don't really get to slow down and observe all the little details of them, even though they're all there. But I don't really know without a point of comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. But I will say, like, there were definitely some bosses that were just horrifyingly, like, especially the spider boss the first time.
Yeah.
And especially not having any idea what it could do. That was definitely, I think, one or two of my deaths was trying to figure that fight out. But yeah, I mean, it certainly has that feel, because like JP said, a lot of the game is kind of gimmicky, but it kind of works in its favor, because sometimes those gimmicks, if you don't know them, like, they're near impossible to get around. So knowing that in each fight, we were sitting there like, okay, what am I doing? What am I supposed to do? You know, how am I supposed to deal with this? Is that really the original?
Yeah. It was not a very pretty looking game. It was rough.
There's a guy in the bottom left.
Yeah, but see, like, that's what I'm saying.
My younger
like,
brother.
Oh.
Wow, dude. Like the muted palette, the kind of colors that kind of bleed into each other. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't really make out every single detail, but it kind of adds to that like dreamlike state.
I mean, I see
a little bit, and I
understand what you're saying, but I do feel that like the graphics in this are just like, it adds to it, and it doesn't take away from it. Because I understand what you're saying in terms of like the dreaminess of what the fuck is my character. Holy shit! Sorry, I was distracted by that. But yeah, they fleshed everything out and made it look 10 out of 10 to where it looks remarkable.
I mean, I can't wait to get my hands on a PS5 and then, give it a go myself. But
yeah, it's a very pretty looking game without a doubt. And I'm excited to go back to it. It's also the first time I've farmed off stream for a Souls game in a very long time, which I think might speak to how highly I'm enjoying it, because I wanted to get that sweet +5S scaling axe, which involved farming chunks of a worm and blah 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 blah. So it's good.
I did the same.
Yeah, and then you get the scaling axe, and it's 10 out of 10. You just destroy everything. So yeah, I will continue that and probably finish it up. Like I said, either tomorrow, depending on how fast I go through some of those bosses. I'm still a little. Cohh, what'd you think? I think for me, Demon's Souls is the first thing I think of when I think of Demon's Souls is the Tower of Latria, which is, what is that, 3-1? The area 3-1 with the Mind Flayer guys, and then the area after that, which is 3-2. Those are like my quintessential I fucking hate this game, but / love this game moment. So what did you think of that area in particular? And maybe even more, maybe even more particular, the man-eaters, the worst, hardest boss in the
Mind Flayer dudes?
No, the boss man-eater.
Oh, yeah. I like that whole area. It was very reminiscent of, I want to say it's either Bloodborne, or there's another game that as I was playing, I think it was Bloodborne, as I was playing it, I was kind of like, man, this, I feel like I've been here before. Where you can kind of tell looking back that probably what I think it was Bloodborne took a lot of influence from that style of thing. But I liked it, man. I liked the whole thing. I definitely got destroyed by that giant pillar of crossbow things. I think that was that level.
Yeah. That was the beginning.
Yeah, that was fun. And the giant I remember the first time I saw one of those giant amalgamation of corpses in the ball. It just starts like walking towards you and flailing limbs. A very unique and fun level. I had a good time with it for sure.
I watched someone who has never played a Souls game play this, and they got to that point with the giant tower of arrows, and someone in chat just said, "Hey, you can just roll." And I was like, "You can, but like, there's no way they're." And then they just did it. And I was like, "What? What the fuck? You're not supposed to do that on your first try. Seeing this guy, that's not. I died a billion times, and you should die a billion times here. That's not fair. I'm not excited about this whatsoever or happy for you." So, yeah, a lot of people are just rolling through it. It's upsetting.
I am not excited or happy for you. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a good sum up.
Yeah.
Of how I watched, like I caught a few people playing this and they didn't play the original. I'm like, I'm not happy for you right now at all.
Yeah.
Like, obviously you just do this. And you're like, we didn't know that back then. There's no fucking way you would have known that.
Yep.
You die. You get up and you go back and you play again and you waste your humanity and you do all this.
It's accurate. That's the Demon Souls experience, without a doubt. It's good. You should play it if you can. It seems like PS5s are so unbelievably rare, though. So, I guess play it when you can. What else? Zeke, I know you played some indie stuff.
I did.
Let me pull up the highlights because I can't tell you what those game names are because they're all deleted. So why don't you tell me and I'll find the VOD.
Sounds good. All right, Tainted Grail. How about? Let's start with that.
Okay, sounds good. Got it. What is Tainted Grail?
Okay, Tainted Grail, a unique story-driven hybrid between RPG and deck-building roguelikes. Explore the ever-changing maps, fight with deadly enemies, and learn what happened to the cursed island of Avalon. It came out November 27th, so not too long ago. Developed and published by Awaken Realms Digital. This game actually was fucking great. I really, really enjoyed it. It had, I guess it's based on a board game. I didn't know that. I just take all of my suggestions from my game suggestions tab, from my audience and whatnot. But this game had elements of Slay the Spire, elements of like Darkest Dungeon. It's a deck builder that doesn't like it lets you into the game in the way I prefer, which is your deck has like 3 different cards in it. There's an attack, there's like a special effect, like a stun, there's a block, and then there's like a multi-hit something. That's all you get. And then you win a battle, and then you get another card. And then you learn how that card works and what beneficial like things that card has for you with your particular build or whatever. You start off with only there's lots of classes in the games that you can pick from, but you can only pick one class to start off with. You have to unlock the other classes as you go, much like Slay the Spire. It is the thing that I really liked about it over Slay the Spire is that the graphics, like you actually can zoom in, zoom out, like go around while you're doing these turn-based, card-based fighting things. This defeat is by the way, is a scripted defeat, just so you know. This guy, he had 2,500 health, and I was doing like 5 damage. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna let this guy kill me.
I'm gonna steal that line whenever I fail. This is scripted.
It's a scripted defeat.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell that was scripted. Okay. The game is voice acted for the most part. There's certain parts like it's got the main story elements are voice acted. They're voice acted very well. The atmosphere is very Soulsy, very CRPG. The way you move around is CRPG like style-ish, but you can actually like move it, so you don't have to like stay in one spot. It's not like isometric. You open up warp stones, milestones that you can go like fast travel from place to place. It's quest based, so you go back to your camp, and the guy at your camp is like, "Hey, there's a stone golem. You want to go kill him?" And you're like, "Yeah, of course I do. What the fuck am I doing here?" So you go over there, and yeah, on your way to the stone golem, there's like, you know, bandits or, you know, other monsters and shit, and you can actually like avoid them if you like take like a circuitous route. Like the road is wide enough, and I was like, I wonder if this is like a scripted thing, or nope, I can totally avoid them. Okay, I just walk right around them. Cool. They didn't even notice me. Cool. And then you go to the stone golem, and like it's the first like big boss battle that you have outside of the scripted one, the scripted death one. And you look at the stone golem, you're like, this guy's gonna fuck me up. And you go and you face him, and you go, oh, there's some mechanics here. There's some cool mechanics that you discover. Like the first attack is just like, I'm going to scare you real bad with this one. And then it's like, I'm going to keep going. And then you figure out shit as you go along. It's really cool how they reveal like how this, I only did this one boss battle, but it was really cool how they revealed like this boss does this and this happens when you do this. And like, the mechanics were really cool. And building a deck around your particular style of play. You see the thing on the right, or like right below me here, that red axe on the right? Mm-hmm. That is like your special ultimate attack. And you build that up by hitting the enemy. So every hit like fills up that meter. And there's 3 sections of that meter. If you get into the 3rd section, obviously it's the one that does the most power. So you hit. So if you base your deck around doing multiple hits rather than big hits, that thing gets built up faster. And then you use that as like, you know, once it gets filled up, it's like an ultimate, basically. Like in any other game, it's just an ultimate attack. So you blast them for like 50 points of damage. And then you build it up again. So I was like, okay, I'm going to build my deck around doing lots of tiny hits. And then ulting, and then coming back and building it back up again and stuff like that. So there's definitely some strategy. And I will say, like, this is going to be probably my offline game. I have finished, wow. Like, I was playing Ring of Fire. Ring of Fire is another deck building game. I got like 2 achievements shy of 100%ing Ring of Fire. It was another one of those games that it's just like turn-based stuff. You can like play a little bit. Doesn't require a lot. Like, it's just mouse. Like, you don't even have to have the keyboard if you don't want to. Everything you can control with a mouse. So I can definitely see myself like sinking lots of hours in this. I don't know how long it is, obviously, because I only played it for like a little bit less than 2 hours, but it definitely ticked a lot of like my strategy, card game, deck building, like boxes. It's in early access still, so I'm guessing there's a bunch more stuff that they're going to put into it. And it is $19.99 on Steam right now.
Seems like price is right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
For sure.
I saw a bunch more here. Let me scroll back. You tell me where you want to go. I'll find the bot. It's a new game.
Do you want to do Chicken Police?
Yes, I saw Dodger, I think, maybe complete this game. And she spoke, I think, kind of highly of it.
She completed it?
I don't know if she did. I think she was close to it. Game seems kind of crazy. What is Chicken Police? Chicken
Police is, I did not expect this to be as good as it was. I mean, it's just like they put animal heads on human bodies. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny. But it's really, really good. Like, it's a great point and click adventure game. Very, like, that's the reason why it's black and white. It's noir. It's very, like, hard, like, I'm a chicken. And I'm like 100 and whatever days from retirement from the police force. I'm a detective.
I gotta find this chicken. Hold on.
And then this dizzy dame comes in and she asks me to help her with a problem she's having. And it's very much like that. It's kind of like BoJack Horseman, where they don't really explain why people have animal heads, but you kind of just accept it after a while.
Okay.
and they make references to it from like here and there. They make little jokes, little puns from time to time, but it's not too heavy-handed. It's not gross. The punnage doesn't get gross. It's not Meowvelous levels of disgusting, but it's really well done, really well voice acted. Like every single line is voice acted. The voices are great. They're very well done. The music is very like Casablanca, like very good, very, very stylized. A lot of saxophones and pianos and that kind of shit. And man, I barely scratched the surface of it. I don't know how long it takes, but I'm definitely wanting to go back to this on stream. It's surprisingly good. Yeah, the basic gist of it is a point and click game, but it's also a detective game where you question the people, like the Deborah, I want to say she's a doe. I think she's a doe.
Looks like it.
Like a doe, a deer, female deer.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into this like a question mode where you have this notepad that sits right next to the person you're talking to, and it says like, all right, I need to make her less suspicious. How do I do that? Okay, ask her questions to make her less suspicious. All right, now really going for the kill. Like you pick your questions, you're like, all right, this question. And then the question ends up being like, she gets offended by that, like, shit. So like, at the end of the thing, it shows you like a synopsis of your like questioning. It's like, you did about 60% of what we wanted to do. Not great, but you still made it. You know, that kind of shit. And you're like, all right, there's some like strategy to this for sure. Like you got to pick the right responses. You got to pick the right questions and stuff. Try not to like step over the line if the person is skittish, or like really pressure them if they're not, that kind of stuff. So there's definitely some stuff, deep detail to all the characters you meet. It has like detective style lines to everything, like the HQ of the department, aka the meat grinder, huge dark building for shady people. And yeah. I don't necessarily mean those who are sitting in jail, like that kind of stuff. That gritty noir shit, really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Chicken Police Paint It Red is developed by The Wild Gentleman. Naturally. And published by Handy Games. You can play a free demo. You can play a free demo if you like on Steam. If you want to buy it, it is $19.99, and you can get the soundtrack for $4.99 as well.
One of my mods says they stopped by Dodger Stream and saw that there was insect racism by the mammals. So, seems like
I have not seen that yet.
Seems like they go some places with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Seems dark. This is just a weird thing to see in a. Like, what is this?
I'm telling you, man.
This is weird, man.
I love it, dude. I love it.
The best way probably to describe it is a furry's dream.
I'm kind of thinking like this might be a furry thing.
People have said that, and I want to rebuff that because, and I don't know a lot about it, but I would say furry is all over, like the entire body, not just replacing heads.
Oh.
I think there's a difference. There's an important difference that you have to make. Like BoJack Horseman is not furry, whereas something with like what was that other detective game I played that the lead character was like a panther or something? I can't remember the name of it, but that's furry. Oh, yeah. Okay. Is that wrong? I could be wrong about that. I could be absolutely wrong. If you just put on a head, Black Sad. There you go. Thank you. Black Sad seemed like that leaned far more like into the furry domain than this game. This game was just swapping human heads out for animal heads, and I didn't think that counted, but who knows?
There might be levels of furrydom. I don't know.
Maybe
I'm sure there are. I'm sure I'm ignorant to a lot of them.
Yeah. We'll get Rami on. He's our furry correspondent.
Is he?
Yeah. He accepted the position.
I'm sure he'll be thrilled to hear.
He will.
I can't wait to get to the next game though.
What's that? What's the next game?
Haiti 2.
Got it. Haiti 2. Found it.
82. All right.
Oh Lord.
That's always good. Oh Lord.
You gonna pull up the VOD there, Japers?
I mean,
I'm gonna pull up that VOD. I think you can. I think it's fine. It's probably gonna be good.
It's on all of our channels.
82 is listen, it's a third-person puzzle shooter
I guess.
But with a sexy character and a cape. Okay. So,
that's
Hades 2. It has like 2 big things going for it.
That's a lot of plot.
First of all, it is a very like well thought out puzzle game. It has it has some brain busting elements to it.
Do you have to crouch, or is that just
you? Have to crouch around, or is that
No, it's honestly it's the way you get around without being detected by the other by the robots. You are a robot, I think.
I don't believe.
Pretty sure that you're a robot.
Is this Cyberpunk? Right? Is this early footage of Cyberpunk? Is that what
yes.
okay.
Yes, it is.
Right.
I can confirm that this is the first iteration of Cyberpunk, or the precursor. Excuse me.
So this is Cyberpunk 2076.
It's like a prequel. Exactly.
Cyberpunk 2069.
Might be 76 works too, though. In both, I mean, they're both
Cyberpunk 2069.
goes by both names.
Exactly. But you play as this character, and she has like, I mean, I don't think I need to say much more about it, except for the fact that it's actually pretty goddamn challenging, and it works. Like, the game actually is functional. It's a functioning like puzzle game,
Always
like
a good thing.
Puzzle/exploration game. Like, yeah, sure, it was funny. Like, the reason why I didn't like just put it away immediately after playing it, having fun, tits, ass, all that stuff, is because it's actually kind of challenging. There's a little bit of good, decent challenge in there, where you have to figure out, like, you disarm the mine, you pick up the mine, you have to take the mine over here, you have to place it down, and that's how you get through this area. Because if you don't do that, this guy with this robot with blade arms just fucking tears you up.
Oh, the Cyberpunk collector's
I know a lot of people are like, tits, ass, that sort of thing. But really, it's the articles in Playboy that really make it something special.
No, I know that's what I'm saying.
Great political issues that cover the gamut of intriguing intellectual activities, and all that other stuff is just for the lesser.
The funny thing is, that's exactly what I'm saying. Because it's absolutely true that Playboy did have some good articles. Like, they had some really well thought out articles. And that's not a lie. They had really great writers, like, back in the day. Along with pictures of titties. There. This game is one of those, like, it has some fucking substance to it, which surprised me as much as it did you. Like, I played shitty games with tits and ass that have no substance, like Anime Standing, or like, other fucking, like,
now that game is good. I don't know what you're talking. That's
parody games.
We'll see that next week at the Game Awards, Zeke.
Eddie
Vedder's going to sing the theme song of that. All right, that's why he's there.
I've seen a lot of parody games. I have. But this one actually does have a little bit of challenge, a little bit of substance. And that's why I played it for almost an hour. And I didn't just put it away after 15 minutes.
Okay.
Some put it away after about a minute or so.
Is it worth the $25 price tag? Those are the worst Russian nesting dolls I've ever seen, by the way. They don't even have any pictures on them.
I was just thinking that. I was like, they didn't even paint them. I mean...
Yeah. Terrible.
And those flashlights below it, they don't even look like they have lights on them.
I know. They're non-functioning flashlights, and you need them at some point. Places get dark.
People can be so dumb.
But is it worth the $25 price tag? Fuck no. But would it be worth like maybe like $9.99, $8.99? I can see that. If you like that kind of character model and you want like something that's actually functioningly playable, sure.
There you go. You want to talk about At Dead of Night? You played this one for a while.
Yes, I do.
This is a 2-hour and 40-minute joint.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Okay. At Dead of Night is part horror film, part horror game, and part ghost hunt. It blends live action and graphics to create a unique immersive horror experience like no other. It's developed and published by Baggy Cat Limited. It is $14.99 on Steam, and it is a like an FMV sort of Seventh Guest ish kind of a thing without like the puzzle elements.
Was that a real
like,
hand?
they're not.
What?
Yeah, they're all real. Like this is all real stuff.
Seventh Guest without the puzzle elements?
I mean, in the way you move around, like in the way you move around, the way it looks, it's like you just like click, go to a hallway, click, go to a hallway, click, take a left, like that kind of stuff. And kind of like there's a guy in it, the guy you're kind of like trying to avoid, gives off some stealth kind of vibes. Like he's like has this like very shitty bald cap with like this fucking like hair coming out the side. Very like community theater. As well as the acting. It's pretty community theater. But that's kind of the charm, I would say. That's kind of the charm of it. I do want to go back and finish it. There's definitely some jump scare moments to it where you're trying to avoid the hotel proprietor guy. You're trying to unravel the mystery of what happened, what has happened here, what is happening. You find these. You have like a spirit box, basically from Phasmophobia, where you have to go to. You see the compass in the middle of the bottom. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of funky. Like it'll move. If there's like four or five floors. There's five because there's floor 1, 2, 3, ground level, and then below ground. So there's 5 levels of this hotel that you can use the elevator to go up and down. And the compass will like very slowly move no matter kind of what you do. And it's like, tell me, what are you doing? Tell me where to go. That part, definitely some frustrating parts. The things it does right is like the way they unravel the story is pretty cool. It's like a piecemeal. Go up to once you find out where the ghost hotspot is, you stop in the ghost hotspot. You say, "Hello, is anyone?" And then if someone's there, you'll hear them go, like the fucking Phil Collins, like, "Do you remember?" Like it's like, "Hello, hello." You're like, okay, got it. Is this Amy? Like, yeah, this is Amy. Okay. And then you actually ask the spirit questions. And that's kind of the cool part about it. The fun part is you'll find items like you'll open a drawer and you'll find a lighter with turpentine. You don't actually take it, you just make a mental note of it. And then when you talk to the ghost, you say like, "Hey, do you know anything about this lighter and turpentine?" And the ghost will go like, "I think so, but I'm not sure." But when you combine the lighter and turpentine with like an event that the ghost had told you about, like you ran away crying because your hand hurt, and then you match the turpentine and the hand hurt story up, and the ghost goes, "Yeah, that's what happened." And then you like, "Oh, okay, that's the right combo." It reveals more of the story. You're like, "Oh, okay, that's pretty neat." There's definitely some frustrating parts to it. Like there's a mechanic where the guy is chasing you, sort of, like not very well. But you'll hear him, like, you go down a hall and you hear, like, "I'm coming for you." And you're like, "Oh, shit, he's here." And then you, like, go into a room and you hide in, like, the wardrobe or you hide in the bathroom or something. And you kind of listen and you think he's gone. They're like that. You'll see him, like, go across. Like, "Go, get out of here, get out of here." And you'll think he's gone. You can look through the spyglass of the door. Be like, "Okay, I don't see him." And then you go out and you turn around and then, like, seemingly out of nowhere for no reason, you'll hear this. You'll see him and he'll go, "Ah!" and like fucking bash you on the head. Now, the consequences of that are very minor. You lose your compass.
Oh, man.
Which, even though it's kind of frustrating, you do need it. It's an important thing to have. So you lose your compass. You have to go back to the storeroom because he always takes it and puts it in the same room after he steals it from you. Doesn't really learn. But you got to go back and get it. And once you do that, yeah. What's that?
I said, what a weird ghost.
Yeah. Well, no, he's not a ghost. He's a real person. Yeah. He's a real guy. You're just trying to talk to the ghost and figure out what this guy has done and what the story of the hotel is all the weird goings on. But it's campy, but no, I did not beat it yet. But I wouldn't mind like going through it because it has enough stuff to keep you interested gameplay wise, and it's campy enough that you can just kind of chuckle at it all the way through. And every time, like when the guy kills you, it's just like it's minorly inconveniencing when he kills you, but it's more like funny because he just goes like, "Hey, ah! Like, oh, yeah, fuck, hey." Oh yeah.
So I think I asked this in the beginning, but now my eyes are starting to play tricks. Is this this is all computer generated, right? But the hand is real?
Some of it isn't.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a mix between FMV, like real pictures, real video. It's a mix between that and some computer generated. Like the panel on the elevator is like 100%. Like this part, mostly like I would say like 100% of it is computer generated. But then there's like the carpet. It looks like it was like it's a real hallway from a real hotel.
Huh.
The people in it, like every single time you see a person or a character model, that is FMV. That is definitely like actual video capture.
The way they do the camera is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's super springy and it looks very realistic.
Dude, and that's like the thing that like a lot of these kind of games, like a pitfall of them, is they either just flash you to the spot, they go too fast, you don't know what the fuck's going on, you kind of get disoriented. Where this one is like, okay, it's going just slow enough that I understand where I am, and it's not like I don't get dizzy or disoriented.
I think here's a person, maybe.
Yeah, a movie with CGI, enhanced CGI kind of stuff. See, look, this looks like a picture of a real room.
Yeah. I think. Didn't I see a person in the thumbnail? Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Now the game's playing tricks on me.
Oh yeah. There's the ghosts are all portrayed by real actors. The proprietor, whatever his name is, I can't remember, but he's portrayed by a real actor.
Yeah.
I guess some of the people from someone was saying the shape-shifting, Jimmy is his name. That's right. His name is fucking Jimmy. That's the proprietor of the hotel. It's just so ridiculous. Some people were saying it was done by some of the people who did like the shape-shifting detective and the Jinx contradiction. There you go, contradiction.
Oh, okay.
Like some of the people, it's not the same dev group. They don't have the same name, but I'm guessing some of the people were involved with this. I'm guessing the FMV video game group is a pretty tight-knit small group. I'm sure they know each other.
Probably. You would think so.
I'd imagine like they're probably like on each other's like, you know, Christmas card.
There's
list.
A Twitter list or something like that, I'm sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. That is at Dead of Night. How much is this?
This game is $14.99.
Okay.
So right there in the sweet spot.
Was there anything else, Zeke? I don't think so.
Let's see.
Not necessarily indie, but did both of you guys finish Yakuza? Is it done?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I did. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And I've done a bunch of...
Are we going to take a break?
I think we're just going to talk and then end in like 20 minutes because we don't really have anything to say for another hour. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Are you done, Zeke? Are you doing any post-story stuff or anything like that off stream?
I don't think so. Honestly, like the side story stuff is fun, but it loses some of its fun if I don't get to share it, you know, with an audience. Yeah. I got to a point where I was like, okay, I've got all the pound mates I want to get. I've done all those side stories. I've done enough of the like certain things like the go-kart thing. I did like 3 races of that. I'm like, it's okay. It's not fun enough to keep me going really. So I kind of like left that near done, but I'd say like I did. Cohh, do you know how many sub stories there are?
52.
Or 52? Okay, I think I did like probably 30 to 40, somewhere in there, between 30 and 40.
Sub stories or side quests?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I probably did like 30 to 40 of them, and then I did the ones that I wanted to do, I think. And I was fine leaving a few of them behind, because some of them are just like, you know, pretty simple, straightforward, like beginning, middle, end, and nothing really momentous or weird or goofy happens. And that's kind of been the same way for most of the Yakuza games. Like, it's interesting to people who find whatever subject they're dealing with interesting, but if you don't, then it's not for you, kind of a thing. Like, if one of the sub stories is like, do the claw game until you get this thing. If you don't like the claw game, you're not going to care about that sub story. So I'm not saying there is one, but I'm saying just as an example off the top of my head.
Sure.
But man, Cohh, it's a fucking great game, right?
It is a phenomenal game. Absolutely. Yeah. I ended up finishing the game. I've run the last dungeon 4 or 5 times now. I've done farming for multiple hours, every single side quest, maxed out pretty much all the mini games I can outside of like mahjong and shogi and some of the gambling and stuff. It is, and I'm not done. Unfortunately, there's a bug with the PC version where there is a final dungeon, one where you run the dungeon, and on console you run the dungeon once, and then as you're leaving, you get like a notification like, hey, now that you've beaten the end of the dungeon, you know, the real dungeon is unlocked. Come around the back of the building, and there's a new entrance. Use that. But on the PC version, it doesn't do that. In the PC version, it like randomly unlocks between like 1 and 20 times, and for some people, it just doesn't unlock. You can just keep running the dungeon, and it just never unlocks. So the chance must be really tiny or something. Nobody knows what the limiter is.
That's
weird.
Yeah, it's very strange. Lots of theories going around, but none of them are accurate. So yeah, what I'm doing right now is I have my guys, almost all my guys are above level 90. I've done pretty much everything there is to do in the game. I'm working on doing a little bit of farming to get like the ultimate weapons to max rank. I've already done all the side quests and everything. And I'm hoping a patch will come out so I can try that last dungeon, and kind of like that's the real kind of end of your first playthrough, is if you can beat that dungeon, then you've kind of done everything in terms of content. So yeah, it's a damn good game. It's really, really, really good. And frankly, I'm kind of thrilled that they kind of moved from Kiryu into Kasuga, and they have found this like really cool new character to kind of keep things going. And I will say that I strongly recommend 2 things. One, definitely do all the romances in the game. And this is to Zeke. If you do ever want to go back and do anything, like, the romances are awesome, and doing all the romances unlocks a special side mission, which is phenomenal. And also, if you want like a great moment, definitely make sure to go back and at least once do the end game dungeon that unlocks after the main story. There is
I never did that because I didn't like how the dungeons were set up. They're just dank and boring looking. Like,
they are.
Not, it's not like even the fights that you just get into randomly on the streets of the street, just on the streets. At least they have like lights and like, you know, it's just like a dank like mementos. Like, it's just not fun.
The good news is the final dungeon has excellent music, and it also has some very unique fights that you won't find anywhere else. And not to spoil it, well, I will slightly spoil it, but also offer an incentive. There are single fights in that dungeon that give multiple single fights in the final dungeon that give 5 million yen, plus any modifiers that you may have, like coffee or, you know, hats and stuff like that. So it's if you are wanting to kind of like flesh out the end game at all, work on weapons and things like that, definitely a good idea to run that. But yeah, do it at least once, because the ending for people that have played, especially people that have played Yakuza 0 through 6, there's something at the end of that dungeon that gave me goosebumps. Like, it was just like, whoa. Like, it is a very, very cool moment that I think that people that have played the other games will really appreciate.
Speaking of that actually brings up a good point that I think we might disagree on a little bit, as far as do you have to play the other games to appreciate this game? My contention is, I would say no as a whole. If you want a one-word answer, no, you don't have to play the other games to appreciate this game. But I will say it's the difference between watching something happen and going, that's badass, to going, oh shit, yeah. There are moments. It's not the whole game that's like that, but there are definite moments where that happens if you played the other ones. Is it necessary? No. But it's also like, is it necessary to get whipped cream on that white chocolate ice mocha? No. But it's not the same without it.
Here is the tweet that I put up at 10 o'clock last night. Is it necessary to play Yakuza 0 through 6 to enjoy Yakuza Like a Dragon? No.
Oh.
Are there references and events that will have deeper meaning if you have played the previous games? Yes. So if you have the time, definitely play them. But Like a Dragon is still great by itself.
Okay.
That's what I'm recommending to people. Like, you do, especially if limiting time is a factor, you can absolutely just play Like a Dragon. But there are certain scenes and events where, just like you said, Zeke, instead of it being like, hey, who are these guys? It's going to be like, oh my God, it's them. You know, it's like, there's like,
right.
It's very,
and the thing is,
ways.
The thing is, it's like we're acting as if the people we are talking to only have, a couple of weeks left to live or something. It's like, no,
well,
you don't have to play the other ones. You can play this one. Let us just reiterate, play them, play all of them that you can. Sure. They're all fucking great. They're all solid games from beginning to end. Play them all.
Absolutely.
In order. It'll help. It'll help your enhancement and enjoyment of the game.
And like you said, the older games only make a phenomenal experience even better. You're still getting the whole cake just by playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. Like you will still have a great time, and you will still all the meat of the game is going to be in that game. So it's just the little flavor bits. It's the little extra stuff that you can appreciate a little bit more if you've played the other games. But you will still get a fundamentally amazing experience just with Like a Dragon. Yeah.
Well, and that's people are saying, like, if I only had the time, it's like just start from zero and play them all the way through, like a few hours at a time. You'll be fine. You'll get there. It might take you a while, but
finish by 2021.
If you only do the main story. If you just main story the Yakuza games, they're not nearly as daunting as people make them out to believe. I mean, some of them are like 15-ish hours if you just do the main story. Yeah. A lot of people are like, oh man, I don't have time for 6 50-hour games. Dude, 50 hours can cover like 3 to 4 of the games if you just rush them, and get the important stuff. So yeah, there's some great sum updates.
What if you just watch a video?
Yeah, there's some good videos out there too.
Is that sacrilege?
No. In fact, what was it? I don't know if the video's out yet, but I remember seeing a tweet that they're working. There's like a guru, a Yakuza lore guru who's working on a video just for Like a Dragon. So if you watch like this 30-ish minute video, it covers all the stuff you need to know for Yakuza Like a Dragon.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Wait for that. Yeah,
well, and also,
it's very smart.
Yeah.
With the battle mechanic change from the other games to this game, if the JRPG style is more enticing to you than the action beat 'em up style, then absolutely watch the videos of all of the story leading up till now, because it is a big change, and I personally liked it a lot better because all I wanted to do in the previous games was do all the heat moves, like the cool animated this is smashing nails into the face and stuff like that. Like you can do just those in this game, and it's great.
That was a question I had for you guys. They might have already said this, but the question I think still stands. If and when they do a Yakuza 8, do you guys want a JRPG game, or do you want a 0 through 6 game, a beat 'em up or whatever you want to call it?
I think Kasuga, the way that Like a Dragon is done is Kasuga is the RPG guy. And you'll know what I mean after you play it.
Well, you mentioned that in terms of how he sees the world and whatnot. So
exactly. So I think the turn-based thing is how he does it. That's his flavor. Kind of like Kiryu was the action stoic beat 'em up guy. Like Kasuga is the RPG tactics turn-based guy. I would be very surprised if they made any type of switch back to the old style using Kasuga as a character. Agreed. Maybe diving back into like having Kiryu or other star characters from previous games having their own games with a updated combat system. That's one thing. But if they bring Kasuga back, I think he's always going to be the RPG gamer.
Okay.
I heard that Gataku Studios, Ryuga Gataku Studios, were announcing something soon.
Oh,
you hear about that?
Yeah, I think the 10th. Right? Is it the 10th?
Yeah, probably Game Awards
earlier.
then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
8th.
I think the general consensus is Judgment 2. December 8th. There we go.
Oh, well, if it's 8th, then it could be Yakuza 8.
But Yakuza 8 seems a little,
I think that's their anniversary.
Soon for that.
Yeah, and it's their anniversary too. So.
Oh.
Yeah, it would be very surprising if they, with Like a Dragon just coming out here, unless they were announcing the Japanese, maybe, because the Japanese version usually comes out significantly earlier than the NA version, so they could be announcing Like a Dragon 2 for Japan.
They might be doing, or also Kiwami 3.
Really? After just remastering 3?
Oh wait, did they just remaster 3?
They just remastered 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, they did. Okay, never mind then.
No, I was thinking Judgment 2. I'm with you on that. Judgment did really well, and especially now that they have like a Dragon doing so well, dude, I would love to see a Judgment 2. Still one of the best mini games ever with the drone racing. And the VR stuff was fun. Like, it was so good. It was so good.
Someone in my chat had a good point, and I don't know if it's true or not, but they said they announced Yakuza 7 3 years ago. Is that true? Like they just announced they were going to do it?
It's been on Japan for a while. Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, good point in chat. Maybe it's 3, 4, and 5, and maybe even 6 for PC.
Oh, dude!
Could be a lot of things.
It's so hard for some people to get those games.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool.
Are those PS3 games right now?
That would be awesome.
I think the remasters are PS4. So you can get I think that was one of the big reasons is they wanted to get everything on a purchasable platform. Again, getting those on PC would be very cool. That'd be very cool. Yeah. Cool. Also, great reaction from Zeke on that.
That could be a new sub sound or something.
I felt like Mr. Scream from Wayne's World for a minute. Like, what do you think about that? What do you think about that, Mr. Scream? Yeah.
Oh man, let's get some more screaming because it's time to talk about everyone's favorite game, Fallout 76. Cohh, how was
Warcraft?
How was Fallout 76? Whatever this is, I don't know what the Brotherhood of Steel update.
Steel Dawn.
There you go.
This was the Brotherhood of Steel coming back to Fallout 76. It was basically more Wastelanders. It was good because everything kind of worked.
Always
more good updates to it. They have some free season pass stuff that they're doing now. Free being the keyword. The Steel Dawn update was also free. The voice acting was pretty good. The quests were okay. Yeah, I mean, I had a pretty good time. The next section is coming out early next year. This was part 1, and it does end with some interesting choices you have to make. I was not really expecting. I was thinking it was going to be a little more cut and dry, but it was very much not. And I actually had a lot of trouble deciding what I wanted to do. But yeah, it was good. I had a good time with it, and I'm looking forward to the second part. Also, kind of cool. I need to go back and explore this. In fact, I may during the cozy stream, my evening stream tomorrow night. They added in this new thing called. They're basically you get like a little housing thing above the ground. You can plop down a little bit of land and you can build on it. Well, they brought in this new system where you can put like a hatch, and that takes you to an instanced version. And now you have like a little instance just for you place that you can build in that apparently has a much higher cap. They're not called shelters, are they? Are they called shelters? And you can build like your own little underground thing, which looks kind of cool. So when I was doing it, the game came out early on Xbox, and as from what I understand as an error. So what they did is instead of rolling that back, they just said, screw it, we're releasing it for everyone early. And it came out a little bit earlier than they were intending. So some of the stuff that they wanted to get in, including like the second biggest and biggest of the underground areas, they weren't in when I played. So I'm going to go back now that those are in and check those out. And yeah, they are.
Cool.
But yeah, I had a good time with it. It was pretty cool. Not quite as many new weapons and things. I was hoping for like a larger variety of kind of like new gear and items. It seemed very light on that. Then again, this was only the first part, so maybe that stuff comes in the next one.
Gotcha. All right. And you said this is all a free update?
All a free update. This is one of their big free ones. The last free update they did was the kind of ESO style balance the world. So now kind of wherever you go, everything scales to whatever you are, which has its benefits and negatives depending on how you kind of like that. So, that's kind of cool. But at the same time, apparently it actually works, which is kind of nice. And then I think the next big update is the second part of this, and then I don't know what they're doing after that. I don't know if they have a roadmap after that yet, but hopefully they'll keep up the same thing they did this year, because this year was really good, believe it or not, for 76. The Wastelander updates was good. They put in tons of fixes. The FOV sliders in now, the push, which they never said they'd put in, push to talk things in now. Like a lot of the stuff that they like really screwed up with at the beginning is actually in the game now. So as long as they kind of keep the development cycle up, they keep putting in like quality quests, new stuff to do, good voice acting. I mean, maybe after a solid 9 to 15 years, we'll have a good game.
There's a lot of that right now. I'm hoping all the same for Avengers.
Does this have the potential to No Man's Sky and come out on top?
The only reason I would say that this game doesn't really have that potential is because it's still super clear that this game is built around monetization. The thing that made No Man's Sky so kind of special is you could tell with the passion the devs had that they just wanted to deliver a quality product. Fallout 76 still very much is built around wanting you to get stuff off that store. And they, and it still has a subscription service. Like it just doesn't quite have that kind of purity that No Man's Sky does have with its redemption arc.
Yeah.
This is we want to give you the best reasons to give us the most money we possibly can get out of you kind of thing, which is not the same.
Yeah, I think I see parallels of that in so many different Avengers, same way, right? Like they have the free updates just like this has, but alongside with the free updates, it's like, here's a shiny new skin, right?
Yeah, that kind of thing. They're not trying necessarily to give their player base the value they wanted to give them at the beginning, which is what I feel fundamentally No Man's Sky did. Like they're like, we want you to not only feel like we did right by you, but we want to surpass those expectations over time. We want this to be an incredible experience that everyone likes, and there's something for everyone kind of thing. Whereas Fallout 76 is more of we want to make this the best possible experience we can to make you want to spend more money on us, and we're going to keep developing those ways to spend money. And all sorts of stuff. Like for instance, let's go either hand on this and a little devil's advocate. So when you do the quest to get the shelter, you get the small area to develop underground. Well, if you're a subscriber, then you get the second area, the slightly larger area. And if you're not a subscriber, you can buy it for atoms. The largest area you have to buy for atoms.
Atoms is in-game currency?
Which is the currency that you can either buy with money,
okay,
or you can earn for free if you work through the challenges on the free board. So you can get it for free in-game.
Okay.
Also, it's important to mention that subscribers, just by being subscribers, get atoms. So theoretically, you could just spend some of the atoms you get from your subscription on one of the bigger things. But even with all that stuff said, it's still kind of like, they're still trying to suck those out of the player. You know what I mean? Like it's still, you can still tell, like it's just not quite, it still taints it just the tiniest bit to where like, okay, this is still trying hard to pull out every penny. Like even with all the little gotchas and gimmies, like they're still trying to get those whales out there.
Yep. I mean, there's so many different games that do that. That's just the industry that we're kind of in. There was a random news article about Genshin that I want to find because it ties into this. And then we can wrap up for the week if I could find it quickly. It was something about how much money they're earning. I think it's $6 million a day is what Genshin's earning right now from microtransactions.
A day, Jesus.
Yeah, it's and the sad / funny part of that is that's like pennies compared to what a lot of mobile games actually make. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it though. Look. But yeah, it's, that's the industry that we're in. Unfortunately, they're trying to get as much money as possible out of every single player, especially the whales, as Cohh said. Whales kind of control and dictate a lot of that style of game, if not all of the styles of that game. I can't find that news article. Maybe when we're doing shout-outs. So let's do some shout-outs, and I'll try to find it here. Zeke, you want to start us off, as usual?
I'd love to start us off. Hello, everybody. My name is Ezekiel III. You can find me at or slash Ezekiel_III. I will be playing football on Sunday. What? You want to come out and check me out? Is it a Monday game? No, I think it's just a Sunday game for me.
Oh, God.
No, I'll have to check with the coach.
Okay.
But before game day, I'll be playing, probably going back to the chicken game. Oh, shit. Right after this, though, or not right after this, but in a couple of hours from now, I think we're sticking with calling it Rough Specs. We're going to be doing some makeup over on my Guff's channel, my girlfriend's channel, twitch.tv/ClassKatie. We got a really fun one planned for today. We're going to be doing some prosthetics and some paint and hair and all kinds of different stuff. It should be a lot of fun. That's happening in a couple hours from now. Tomorrow, I will be starting off the day with, I believe, a sponsored stream of VR. I'm going to do a VR game for the first time in a while. Frostpoint is the name of it. We're going to be starting off with a little sponsored portion of that. And then after that, I think we might just go back to the chicken detective game. So that's what's coming up.
There you go.
Thanks for watching.
Good stuff. Found the article. Genshin Impact generates close to 400 million in the first 2 months, and it averages more than $6 million a day.
Wow.
Decent amount. Decent amount. Looks like PUBG Mobile, though, makes more than that. Funny situation. I think, hold on. During its first 2 months, Genshin Impact is number 2 revenue generating mobile game worldwide, ranking behind Honor of Kings from Tencent at number 1, and above PUBG Mobile from Tencent at number 3.
Oh, okay.
That's still not bad.
PUBG Mobile between September 28th and November 28th, 2020 earned $384 million, with Honor of Kings earning $467 million.
What is Honor of Kings?
It's some Tencent game. I don't know. I don't know what
I've even heard that.
Yeah.
It's a multiplayer mobile MOBA.
There you go. There you go. Does Tencent own Genshin Impact, or does Tencent have nothing to do with Genshin Impact? I don't know. Chat? Waiting to see if Tencent has funded miHoYo, or whatever they're called. Has nothing to do with it. Okay, there you go. I bet you in the next year we see that Genshin has bought miHoYo.
Or Tencent.
Yeah, for a billions and billions of dollars. Cohh, do some shout outs.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Cohh. As always, big thanks to JP and Zeke for the fun, and thank you guys for watching. I am off the Cozy stream tonight, and I'm also going to probably just go ahead and take the rest of the day off today to hang out with my family. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I think we're going to take a look at that. Oh, I always get the name wrong. It's the Phoenix Immortal Phoenix Rising.
Gods and Monsters.
Yeah, there we go. We're going to check that game out tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. ET. We may get a little bit of 13 Sentinels in as well, but tomorrow it'll be fun. Then tomorrow afternoon, as always, I'm off. Tomorrow evening, I'll be back probably for a look at the Fallout 76 stuff and maybe some Hades or some beer or something. And then we'll be going into the weekend with more of the games we're playing, maybe some Witcher 3, finishing up 13 Sentinels and all that kind of fun stuff too, as we wait for Cyberpunk on December 9th at 6 a.m. ET. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you not next week, but probably the week after, because I will be knee deep in Cyberpunk next Wednesday, probably for the whole week actually. So yeah, hope to see you guys then.
Yep. To reiterate what we said at the start of the show, no normal show next week. Myself, Zeke, I got to remember all the names now. God, I get DJ Tech Live, which isn't even his name anymore, and DJ Knight confused all the time.
Knight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So DJ Knight will be joining us next week with myself, Zeke, Rami, and Luxy Games will be our fifth host on that. That's on Thursday, starting at 3:30 p.m. PST-ish for the Game Awards. No normal show next week. We'll be talking about Cyberpunk in 2 weeks on a normal show. And then as for what I'm doing, I think I'm taking the rest of the day off tomorrow. Probably try to finish up Demon Souls. Friday, I'll be going into surgery. Probably won't be back till Sunday, maybe Saturday. It just depends on how I'm feeling and how high those drugs get me. We'll see how that goes. And then, yeah, just more video games.
That's content. Do it.
Yeah, because that's what you want to see. Someone high as shit play WoW. Let me tell you, it looks exactly the same, and it's something like this. Just that. But yeah, we'll finish up Demon Souls, and then we'll see where the rest of the games take us. Probably going to be checking out Cyberpunk with the rest of Twitch next week as well. So that's it for Drop Frames. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you in 2 weeks for a normal show. If we don't see you next week for the Game Awards restream on Thursday. Have a great rest of your day. We're out of here. Bye-bye.